another episode of Get a Load of This. From the Silver Creek Studios, I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Ryan.
We have my daughter sitting in with us tonight, Riley.
And technically your wife, too.
Well, she's involved, but she's
Silent.
behind the scenes.
Right.
Yeah. And because we are in a dry county now, at least a dry studio, Ryan and I have decided to forego the pleasures of alcohol for the next 2 months.
That's well put. Forgo the pleasures of alcohol. I like that. Well, I mean, we're going to start with a month and see where
We'll
it leads
see.
us.
Maybe a week tops.
No, I'm
I don't know.
definitely going a month. I'm definitely the whole month of September.
Yeah.
I'm locked in on that. No
Yeah.
alcohol and
I was telling you, it's already become a pain.
yeah.
So my wife did the honor of booking me at the Stubborn German microbrewery to go pick up her produce,
yeah.
which
So
I've been happily doing for weeks now because I get to go
No,
have
they
a beer.
sell soda too.
Yeah, but I want to go there for a soda.
Or you could just go pick up the produce
could
and come
just
home.
do the nice husbandly thing
Right.
and pick up the produce, but so that sucks. I got to go into my favorite brewery and not get a beer.
Yeah.
And then she informs me that in 2 or 3 weeks is her 20th class reunion and asks if I want to go. And what is the theme of this reunion? It's a bar crawl. So, yeah, I get to
Wow.
go on a bar crawl
So it
and
sounds
not
like
drink anything.
I'm going to win this challenge. Sounds
Yeah,
like I'm a
you just
lock.
might. But,
How about you, Riley? Can you commit to being sober for the next 30 days?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Mhm.
Dare,
Good answer.
Dare's working.
So instead of drinking beer, we've been drinking a lot more water, right?
Yeah.
And we do a lot of beer reviews on this podcast and taste tests and the like. So we
Right.
thought, hey, let's try a water taste test, blind
Yeah.
taste test with some
So
bottled
this is
water.
kind of funny because
Yeah.
you had this idea. You texted me today, and it's a great idea. But coincidentally, and maybe you, Riley, can shed some light on this, but Chuck, just the other day, I grabbed a bottle of Dasani water out of the fridge, and we also have Nestle water. And he says, "Ew, why would you drink Dasani water? That's garbage." And I was like, "It's fucking water. How different can it be?"
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't notice there's a difference." And he's like, "Oh, there's definitely a difference. It's garbage."
Okay, are you drinking a Dasani water?
I am, yeah.
I would not let Riley drink any water upstairs because I said it would affect
Oh,
Taint the
right.
palate. Okay.
Now he's going to know
Well, now
which
I'll
one
stop.
tastes just
Well,
like the
here.
Dasani.
Yeah. All right.
Mhm.
Well, I think I can be trusted. I haven't had a sip in a while, but anyway, so I
You can have
said,
it.
"You're crazy. I bet you if I put 3 bottles of water in here or 3 glasses of water, there's no way you can tell the difference." Oh, I guarantee I would. You know,
So what do you think? Can you tell?
Mm-hmm.
So is there something, is this what the kids do today, is bitch about water?
The Dasani and the other blue bottle. What's it called?
I don't know.
What are they?
Deja Blue.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't like those.
Okay.
They're not. I don't like them.
Do you realize that there are people in the world out there that are
Yes.
just dying for a drop of water?
Yeah.
And we're sitting here complaining about, I mean, I get it. I think, like I said upstairs before we started, there's definitely, I'm sure there's a difference. I just don't know if the blind taste test, I don't think you can be able to tell much of a difference.
I don't know.
But I could be wrong. I don't know. We're going to give that a shot. So I interrupted Jared. That's the point of this,
No,
is that
you're
we're
fine.
going to, and he's texting someone right now.
Sorry.
He's talking to champagne or something. I don't know.
On the air, sort of.
This used
All
to be
right.
a professional operation.
I know. My bad. Yeah. So I thought it would be interesting to see,
Yeah.
A, can we tell? B, do you have a preference?
Yeah.
And we mixed in tap water, right? Or is
No.
it filtered from the fridge?
From the fridge.
Okay. So it's sort of tap water, but it's gone through our refrigerator filtration.
We each have 3 glasses,
Mhm.
and
We hand them out?
yeah.
All right.
You'd give them, okay, I'm going to take this row over here.
Sure.
For myself.
So we each have a different glass corresponding to,
Fancy
One of
mason
the
jars.
types. we all 3 have the same. So
This is like going to pole folks back in 1987.
that's right.
Remember that joint?
All right. We
Sure
got
did remember
our
the mason jar.
big mason jar, our littler mason jar, and a standard cup glass. This one's a little damp.
So do you think you can tell any difference by just looking at them?
Let's see.
The dog really wanted to be on this podcast.
She did. She's anxious.
Yeah, I think they all look exactly the same.
They look like water.
They all look exactly the same. So someone's out there like, oh, I could tell it's cheap tap water.
Oh yeah.
Can we set any of these on fire? We should try that. Because you heard about that, like the
right.
places where they frack.
No.
That you can set their tap water on fire.
Yep.
So how are we going to do this?
Okay. Let's see. Do we want to?
Do we just pick a glass?
Let's confirm with my wife. So
that's right. She's the one that knows the truth.
Like, is this style of glass the same type of water for all three of us? Okay. So we don't have to we can say start with this one, and
we're starting with the stubby little rock
shorty.
Glass. Okay.
And all right, let's take a sip. You can take as much as you want. That's good. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking water.
It's water, but there's a flavor to it.
Well, I'm gonna save some so I can come back to it.
Okay,
do I need to come back to it?
Yeah, we're gonna come back.
Okay.
I mean, that's up to you. Test how you want, but
all right.
I'm gonna go with the shorty.
This
mason
is
glass.
A Kerr
Kerr.
mason jar. Come on, man, get it straight.
Different, but I'm not sure. Let's see.
Nope, tastes like fucking water.
It's not Bud Light.
It's water.
Okay.
I mean, I'm waiting for one of these to be like, oh my god, it's horrible. This whole exercise is pissing me off.
This one, I can tell a difference. I'm gonna go back.
No, this one does.
I'm pretty locked in with the standard glass.
Okay.
The first
Hold on.
one.
You're thinking
that's your favorite one?
No, I know what it is.
You know what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So what are our choices? Dasani, Nestle, and filtered from the fridge.
It's a whirlpool. I don't know if that matters.
I'm also going off temperature too, because they're not. One of these is
no.
warmer.
I've only had LG filtered water, not Whirlpool. Frigidaire is completely unacceptable.
It's a relatively fresh filter too. We just changed it
good.
up.
I think they all taste, for the most part, the same. I think I know. I can tell the difference between one of them. This one there's distinct difference. In my mind.
Okay, I want to hear what Riley thinks first. So, what do you think is the stubby normal glass?
I think this one is the Dasani.
Really?
That's kind of what I'm leaning towards too.
Okay.
And then
all I can say is that I think these two are bottled water.
Okay.
I think this one is out of your fridge.
Now, I'm actually going to go the other way. I think the middle one is possibly from the fridge.
Okay.
And I think the big one is Nestle.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this one's from the fridge.
I don't tell the difference between
and I
one
feel
of these.
like
I'm not even
these
gonna
two are
venture
very similar.
a
One of
guess.
which I think is fridge.
Okay.
So I think Dasani, fridge, Nestle.
Okay.
All right. You and I agree. Ryan thinks
I think
that those two are bottled.
This is out of your fridge.
He
That's all I
also-
know.
He also doesn't always drink our fridge water.
I don't always drink
That's
your
true.
fridge water. True.
All right.
But
Honey,
we're on the same.
Are we ready? Do we want
water system?
Well, first, before you tell us,
Different filter.
do we have a preference? What do you like the most?
If I had a preference, I think I go with the first one, the stubby rocks glass, which I guess in Riley's opinion would be Dasani, but I don't know. I think they taste the same. These two taste the same, but I guess probably because I had this one first.
Maybe.
I like what I think is the fridge water the best.
Really?
I agree. Because to me, it has less flavor. Whatever this is that tastes like bottled water to me, I don't want that. I want just plain water that's replenishing. And
Okay.
So
My only requirement for water, I mean, I want it to be clean. I don't want it to have any like crazy taste.
right.
I like it cold. If it's cold, I don't care.
See, I even prefer
All of these are
room
fine.
temperature. But
Out of a garden hose, it's fine. I'm
Which
good.
one do you want to know first?
Let's go with the short stubby.
That's the first one I filled, and that is
Dasani green
Dasani.
cap.
Nice,
So
look at
we
you.
got that right. And you were
I mean,
You
I
said
knew it was
bottled,
bottled
so-
water,
okay.
so I didn't know which one.
all right.
Okay,
Now
what
let's
about
go
this one?
the Kerr Mason glasses.
okay. So that's the second one I filled, and that is the Nestle.
Oh, look
Look
at
at
Ryan
me.
being right.
And then this is your
So
fridge.
this is fridge. Now I felt like our fridge water has more flavor to it, but it doesn't.
But I'll still. I mean, I can tell a slight difference, and it's weird. I hate these words, but mouthfeel. That when people use those words, I always kind of make me cringe a little bit. But it does has like a softness in your mouth. That I don't know. That's not the right word either. But just that water does have a texture.
So it
So
makes sense.
These
'cause
two were
these
very
two
smooth.
are very similar.
This one was not.
I just
not
felt
quite
like
as much.
our filtered water had that taste or feel
Well,
to
you
it.
would be
but
wrong.
I can't guess I am.
So now, well, you
We're
got
both
Dasani
wrong.
right on.
We
You got
nailed
that one right.
Dasani, yeah.
But you had the other two mixed up. Huh.
We thought we knew our fridge, and
Man.
we don't.
I am really good at this.
You are. And you said you wouldn't be able to tell. It's all just water.
Well, I just still.
Nobody's going to know.
I stand by that, but yeah. Well, who knew? But the one bite everybody knows the rule guy, the El Presidente from Barstool Sports. He does the pizza
Right.
reviews.
Mm-hmm.
But he did a chicken sandwich review, and he did Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, and what was the
That's
third
weird.
one?
Nobody's been doing that lately.
Well, no, but I think his got more views than anybody.
sure
I mean,
it
he's
is.
like renowned for
Yeah.
reviewing food, and he of course comes out with the Chick-fil-A as the winner by leaps and bounds. But I don't know, who knows if it's all rigged. Plus, I think the problem is that does Popeyes put pickles on theirs like Chick-fil-A
Right. That
does?
makes a huge difference.
Well, right, and you immediately know if one doesn't have pickles on it that it's not
I would have to
Chick-fil-A.
ask. If you're doing a test,
If you're doing
you
a
gotta
test,
say
it has to
no
be like
pickles.
scientific,
Yeah.
right? I mean, so I think we should try something like that.
Now, you heard they ran out, right?
Who did?
Popeyes?
Yeah, I don't think that means anything. I think it means that
Well,
I
they
think it
ran
means
out
that
of their supply
this
at that
world
time.
is
Yeah.
too hung up on chicken sandwiches.
Well,
Number one,
here's the
they're not
thing.
that damn good. I don't think
They're good.
they're right. They're not.
Everybody did what this guy did. Every radio station, every small office, everybody went out and did their own chicken sandwich challenge at the same time, and they literally ran out of sandwich supply.
I'd like to see who was first. I
For
bet
like
it
a
was
month.
Dave Portnoy. I bet he
I'll
did
bet.
it first. I mean, the guy's
Sure, it was him.
as much as people,
You
a
love
lot of
that
people don't like him.
Yeah.
and there's a lot of things not to like about him. He's a kind of a douchey guy, but and northeastern attitude, that type of deal. But he's entertaining,
Yeah.
And he just does pizza reviews, but he's always got a pretty good sound reasoning behind why he's giving it whatever score.
Riley, did you get a chance to have Popeyes before they stopped serving it?
No.
You didn't.
They're
get to
done
compare
serving it completely.
Well, like they have to replenish, but they said it could be weeks before they get more.
really?
Yeah, they said they had a set amount of supply through the month of September,
Mhm.
and that's exhausted. Now, it could be marketing BS, and they're just trying to get the hype up or something. But
I think that's
I don't
probably
know.
more than likely it. I mean, that's what I think. It worked. They're marketing people. They taunted
Mhm.
Chick-fil-A. It worked. They got the publicity they were looking for. We're
And
all
you
talking
like
about
Chick-fil-A,
chicken
right?
sandwiches.
and we have it all the time at the school. So baseball games, football games,
Yeah, they bring 'em in and-
soccer, even maybe.
They're almost better at the cooler, right? Because they get a
Yeah.
little bit moist
Yeah,
in there, and the
right.
bun gets a little soggy. They're better that way than the fresh. Yeah.
I don't know if it's better. I'd rather have it fresh from the store.
Yeah,
but
I don't
it's
know.
not bad. It does carry well, if that's a good term.
I think it's a fine sandwich. It doesn't excite me. Chicken sandwiches are,
Chick-fil-A has mac and cheese now.
I heard
Really?
that.
You're
Yeah.
a big mac and cheese person when we go someplace.
Yeah, Chuck and I went there the other day, and I had it, and it wasn't like
Wasn't as exciting.
What's
as you
it
thought would be.
similar to? Craft or like gourmet,
it's like it's got this hard, like I guess cooked
Like a
top.
crust, yeah.
Crust on it.
That's
yeah.
kind of the thing to do now with
Yeah.
And I don't know,
artisan mac and cheese.
it wasn't impressive.
It wasn't. Well, would you rather eat Kraft or like Velveeta shells and cheese or Chick-fil-A mac and cheese?
I don't know.
Or like your mom's
I'm gonna have
homemade
to
mac
take
and
out
cheese?
that.
I have to take a test.
I have to do a mac and cheese test.
If,
We got all kinds of tests
if
we can do.
Chick-fil-A decides to sponsor our podcast, will you take it back and say you love their mac and cheese?
No,
Forget about that.
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
So you and this was over the weekend. You and Chuck went to Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's his driving? He drove, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it all right?
Yeah.
You're gonna lie to me?
No.
So
I think he's doing okay.
yeah, how's he doing?
I'm less terrified of him than I was of TJ. I guess just first one is like you're nervous, you don't know, and then like actually I think he is a more attentive driver than his brother. But once he leaves my side, I don't know what he's doing. He might be on his phone. I hope not. I hope that his passengers are saying like, "No, get off your phone, dumbass. I don't want to die today."
And he's driving his brother's car.
Yeah, POS Honda. Yeah, it's not that bad, is it?
No.
It's
He's like
not
the
great.
wheel's shaking. Watch this. I'm like,
That means he's going too fast. I think once you hit 60, the car just starts to say, no, we're not allowed to do that.
So we realized over the weekend, Thursday or Friday or so, that my daughter's brakes were not making a very good sound. And just a couple months ago, 2 months ago, less than 2, we changed out her rear pads, which were worn completely down to the metal, grinding. I mean, it was the most awful sound I've heard while driving a car. And she was like, I don't know. I don't hear anything. You don't hear that sound from your wheels? No.
You gotta play the music.
Yeah, turn the music up and nothing bothers you.
So we changed out her pads. And then
on the front.
On the back.
On the back.
The back was where they were worn all the way down. We didn't change the front because they looked okay. So the other day, she tells me, my brakes are sounding weird again. They're squealing. So I went out and drove it. Were in fact squealing. And I just assumed it was the front because we just changed the back. So I bought front brake pads. My son and I changed them out on Friday, I think, and or Saturday morning. And we realized, oh, that wasn't it. It's the back again. Well, that can only happen if there's something wrong, right? So we checked in, and the one wheel, the caliper, was totally like seized up. So it was pushing the pad all the way down constantly. And she had worn it down to the metal again. And so I drove it home.
Not your fault.
Yeah. And I was like,
this one's not her fault.
Well, here's where it is her fault. Just wait. It gets better. So I had to order a caliper, and we didn't have time to put it on that day. So we were going to do it on the holiday, Labor Day. And
makes sense to put some hard labor in on Labor Day. Yeah.
But she had to go to work Saturday evening. So I said, all right, if you're just driving in town, go straight there, come straight back, drive careful, slow, easy on the brakes. Cause it was dangerous. They were like not wanting to grab good and everything.
You probably should have just drove her or let her take another car.
Well, we had to go somewhere else. It was a thing. And I was like, just be careful. It's fine if you just go slow and take it easy. Okay, fine. She did. She comes home. Everything's fine. The next morning, we're in bed, and we hear Riley driving away. And I'm like, where's she going? She decides to go shopping over in St. Louis, driving on the highway.
Yeah, that's on you.
Grinding her rotor to the metal of the pad, going who knows how fast, doing whatever.
The brakes are important.
Yeah, a little bit.
Kind of have to stop periodically. But
I was not happy. So then,
but now she has new brakes and all. She has
new caliper. New pads, new everything. It's all good. It's all working good. Bled the brakes.
And your brother supervised so that you know it was done right.
He did all the work. I did nothing. I stood there and was like, how long is this going to take?
Yeah. And what's his
all
rate?
Good now.
Yeah. How much?
I may have bought him some Schneider's meat market stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that works.
So I gave him a little something. But anyway, yeah, you're welcome. You could have really done more damage to your car.
Well, I'm still looking for a car for Chuck because he needs his own. I think it's kind of shitty of me to make him drive.
I don't know if that's shitty.
I don't know. I mean, I know that
Is it shitty that he has to drive his brother's Honda?
He would rather have his own ride.
But TJ doesn't want that car, so
no, nobody wants that car.
Well,
that's the problem.
Nobody wants it. Fine.
We had a family member post on Facebook. My wife said that they were looking for. Anybody know of where I can find a car for around $2,000? And I was like, yeah. Tell them we got one, and we haven't heard back. But if I'm serious, like anybody wants to buy a car for about $2,000, hit me up. It's yours, and it's not terrible.
It's only been known as that piece of shit Honda.
But and it's not
an Accord,
that bad.
Coupe, right?
Yeah, it's a
leather
4-cylinder. It's what is it?
It's the EX.
EX, yeah. That's
a nice one. It's a good one.
Yeah. Now the leather on the driver's seat is a little messed up.
Well, it's $2,000.
Right. Steering wheel is kind of nasty. It's got a cover on it. Other than that, though, it's pretty nice. One of the seatbelts doesn't work in the back seat. It's problematic. Windshield's cracked. It's problematic. Front bumper stented.
Jeez.
Yeah. What else is there? There's something else. That dumbass. The wheel shakes when you go over about
apparently.
60.
Needs a balance.
He got gas, and he drove all the way from across the bridge in St. Louis, almost home, with the gas cap on the deck lid of his car, on the trunk of his car.
Wow, it stayed?
Well, he set it up on the roof when he was filling the gas. When he's done, he just closed the door. He forgot to put the cap back on, so then he took off. The cap flew back and got lodged underneath the spoiler on the deck, and it got stuck there. And so he got all the way home, and he looked at the rearview mirror. He's like, "What's that?" He gets out, and he was so excited. He's like, "It stayed here the whole way. I can't believe it. I'm so lucky." I'm like, "You're an idiot. What you are." So yeah,
we've all done that.
That's life with Chuck. Yeah.
But he's not too dangerous to ride with.
No, he's a pretty good driver, I guess.
Yeah. Who's worse, Grant or him?
I haven't driven with Grant.
Was it by choice or
Um,
because he scares you?
I've heard stories.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy the kid's finally able to drive himself because it makes my life a lot easier,
Mhm.
and I don't have to worry
Yeah.
about it. But then I got to
Does
worry
he
about
get
getting
himself
home.
to school on time in the
Oh,
morning?
yeah. Yeah. And he dropped some gem on me and the wife. He's like, I get up earlier than you guys do now, so, you can kiss my butt if I want to sleep in or whatever. And I was like, kiss my ass. I've been getting up earlier than you, longer than you've been alive.
Yeah.
For a week, he's getting up before us, and now
We
he's
still got to
a
wake her up.
superhero.
She
Yeah.
sets multiple alarms and it doesn't work. I still have to.
You still got to take a picture of the refrigerator to.
No, I went crazy over that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, though.
She used to have to, her alarm required her to come downstairs and take a picture with her camera phone of something. She chose the refrigerator logo.
That's smart. I mean, you got to come
Yeah,
all the way
makes you
downstairs.
get up. But she would just sleepwalk downstairs, snap a picture, go right back, fall in bed, and never even know that she did it.
So I had a friend that growing up that he had a hard time getting out of bed too, and he worked at an Army surplus store, and so they had like sunglass case, just cases for all kinds of stuff. This one happened to be a Ray-Ban case, like a display case that sat on top of a counter and it spun. It was plexiglass all the way around, and it had a lock on it because you want to keep the Ray-Ban safe. So it was not being used anymore, so he brings it home, and his idea was he was going to put his alarm clock in the case, lock it, put the key somewhere else, and then, he's ready to go. When he wakes up in the morning, the alarm, he has to go get the key, unlock the case, turn the alarm off, and it worked. It worked for a couple days.
Yeah.
And then he realized, I can just unplug the son of a bitch, and I don't have to go
Throw
find
it
the key
across
anymore.
the room. Yeah.
So, yeah, but it was a great idea. But it's like the links that we've gone to, and I did it too whenever I was a kid, of how to make sure that I get up on time and setting multiple alarms and I don't know. Some people just aren't meant to
I
get
feel
up
like
early.
anything short of an alarm that requires the shower to be on your face or something.
Yeah.
It's not, you're just going to find a way around it.
Something that launches you out of bed. And, I think there's probably scientific evidence that I know there is, that there's people that are morning people and people that are, meant to be up at night. You're a night person. I think you probably are, you stay up late. I am too. And most of my family, my wife, she's usually asleep by 10:30 or whatever. She doesn't usually get up that early, but she's easier to get up in the morning than anybody. So my parents
Isn't it
are
just
both
about
real
like
morning
sleep
people.
schedules though? Like the cycle that you get in REM and deep and all that?
No, I really think there are night people. There are like night owls. It's a real thing.
There's habits, but
No, I think there's people that are wired that way.
All
That just
right.
prefer.
well, you're just weird. You'll start like vacuuming the house at 11:30 while I'm trying to go to sleep.
No, I get more things done in the afternoon at work than I do like in the morning. When I get in the morning, it's like, I don't know, I'm not motivated. My juices ain't flowing.
Yeah.
That's whenever I should have all my phone calls and stuff like that, because whenever it's time to like actually you have to do work and have to be productive and work on a spreadsheet or something like
Right.
that.
So you're not
That's
a coffee
afternoon.
person, right?
No, I started to drink here and there at work
Yeah.
because the machine's
But
cool.
you're not one of those like every day. If
No.
I don't get my coffee, I'm not,
No,
Yeah. Those
no.
people really annoy me. Like they're
Is
just flat
is
out.
your wife one of those people?
Not exactly.
I'm not one of those zombies in the morning.
Yeah.
Like,
No. And then you're not you, but people that are like that, they're mean and then they justify
It
it. They're
seems
like,
like
I
it's
haven't
just
had my
an
coffee.
excuse
Just
to
leave
be
me alone
mean.
until I have my
Yeah.
coffee. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Still be a nice person just because you haven't had coffee.
I agree with that.
You're a coffee person.
Yeah.
Are you?
But you're like
are you a
food
crab
food
ass in the
drink.
morning if you don't have coffee?
Is that a joke?
Well, so do you drink coffee from home?
I don't like straight coffee, like black coffee.
You like a milkshake?
Mm.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I usually get like an iced caramel latte or something.
And where do you go in town here to get one?
Mhm.
Like up at Bean Tree?
Bean Tree, yeah.
Wow.
Are you a McDonald's McCafe person too? You don't mind?
in a pinch, maybe?
I mean, yeah, I'll drink
I
that.
feel like
Sometimes
you used to do that. Now you don't
sometimes
like
they're
it.
too watered down.
Oh, I think
And it's not.
Mm.
Hmm.
That's because they want to keep you hooked, and sugar is like heroin. There's a documentary. It's old documentary it's on Amazon. And it's called Fed Up, and the sign on the picture of it on the screen is two M&Ms instead of M's FU, which it's catches your eye. And you're like, what the fuck's this? But it was actually, I think it was produced by Katie Couric and somebody else that I don't know. But it's about the food industry and sugar and how we've all been lied to. And you've probably read a lot or seen a lot of the same stuff. When I talked to Tammy about it, she says, "Oh yeah, that's the same shit that she reads." She follows some guy that just reads food labels, and that was all covered in this documentary about how the FDA doesn't put percentage of daily intake for sugar. They'll do it for protein. They'll do it for cholesterol or whatever, sodium and that. But sugar, it's not. There's no percentage on. We don't have any food down here that has sugar on it. But it's true. Like go try to find it. That doesn't exist. And it's because the sugar lobby, if you will, has basically won that war, and they've lobbied their way into hiding the unhealthiness, and that's why there's like what do they say? Natural flavors or natural, those are just buzzwords that are legalized, but it really means bad shit.
Well, it can say with
natural flavors, right?
Look, it still has some
artificial crap.
like
Yeah.
dyes or something like that.
So have they gotten rid of sodas and stuff and all that at school? Do you have a soda machine?
No, we have a water machine.
Water machine. Is it Dasani?
Water.
No, it's got like core and Bai and.
So fancy waters.
Kind
Are those fancy waters?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But
And how much are they charging for a bottle of water at school?
$1.25.
I wonder who gets that money. I mean, is that going to the vendor or is that going to the school?
I would guess
Probably a vendor.
the
maybe
vendor's
both. Yeah, someone's
profiting,
got
and then the school's
right,
getting
they're
something.
getting a cut.
'Cause
Yeah.
otherwise, why would they? Yeah.
I mean, I remember whenever I was in high school, there was a soda machine, and it had I remember Minute Maid orange drink.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was awesome. Or maybe it was Minute orange soda. But it was like Mandarin orange soda. God,
Yeah.
but I'm sure. I mean, it was terrible for us. But that was in the lunchroom. And you could go get a Coke with your lunch. You didn't have to get your milk or whatever with your lunch. You could get whatever the hell you wanted. I was like, that probably a good idea to get rid of those things out of the schools,
Because they got used all the time. Everybody was getting sodas.
Well, yeah.
But,
so my
chocolate
employer,
milk and nachos can't be that much better, but I guess.
and greasy pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, my employer, we have soda machines on every floor of every building in multiple places on each floor. And sodas, a 12-ounce can of soda is $0.25.
Mm-hmm.
And they subsidize it because you can't buy soda for $0.25 a can anywhere except for my office. And there was a question to the town hall about that health. They're all about being healthy as a company because it saves on corporate insurance rates, and as if we're all healthier as a whole, that's why they want me to quit tobacco, and it all makes sense to have a healthier workforce. But then they sell soda for $0.25. So someone has like, shouldn't we stop doing that if we're all about having a healthy workforce? Shouldn't we stop selling soda for $0.25? And the response, I believe, was, well, it's a tradition. We've been doing it for so long. We're not going to stop today. And I'm like, that's a bad reason. That's
they do it at our office.
I mean,
they're all about health and making sure.
I think that they should have as much bottled water, and because they have the nice water bottle filling stations now in our building, which is really a good thing and cool. But sometimes you don't have your water bottle with you. You're just like, I just want an ice cold bottle of water.
I will say
You should
our
be able to walk
office
by and grab
does have free bottled water, and then soda's 25 cents.
Yeah.
So
I may
at least
suggest.
they're doing that.
And then they have the shop where they have all these other sweet drinks. That's where I usually get my Monster and stuff like that. But they should get away. That shit should be in my office either. They should get rid of all
that stuff's horrible.
Yeah,
Monster.
but I mean, if it's there, man, what the hell not?
All right, I'm going to change gears a little bit. I'm going to ask my daughter. So we talked about on a recent episode with the tragedy, the officer shooting, right?
Always got to bring it down, man.
Well, it's interesting though. So my nephew, your cousin, was telling us the other day, and I didn't know this, and that there was like a threat or the threat of a threat or something.
Yeah, we got a text.
No, but not that. It was related to the shooting. Like the police were. So, okay, the backstory was the funeral and the visitation and all that stuff was at the high school.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess to accommodate large numbers of people.
Right.
So even the night before, like at the football game, when the players were in the locker room, they weren't allowed to leave the locker room because there was concern over people being in the school because they might do something because of the visitations and stuff. And then, okay, so what did you hear? What have you heard?
So
Don't use names.
the rain delay had us all go inside,
Mm-hmm.
and we couldn't leave from the certain hallway that we had to stay in because
Which was by the locker room, right?
Right.
Yep.
and the cameras were under 24-hour surveillance of the state. So like Springfield was watching.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess what Tyson was
But
saying.
why?
Oh, my cousin.
Yeah.
I think we've used his name.
Okay.
Yeah.
That like the people that shot him have friends. And
Right. So
would,
there was
like,
concern
come.
over like revenge over the raid or something like that,
okay.
that they're in jail.
And because there's so many cops that were going to be there the next day. So.
Well, you think it'd be the safest place in town.
But if you wanted to hurt a bunch of them, that'd be the one place to do it, right?
I think that no one's got the balls to walk into a place like that where there's,
apparently they were concerned enough, and
a few hundred armed,
he was even
trained
saying
officers.
something about they were monitoring phones and stuff in town. Like,
Yeah, I don't know
Really?
if that's true.
I don't know how, but that seems illegal. But I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
So that's kind of interesting. A little spin on it that was kind of bizarre and exciting and nerve wracking.
I'm glad it's over. It is a tragedy. I'm glad that we're through that, and just the highways were shut down. You couldn't get in and out of town for a couple of days, and there was a lot going on, and it's neat to see the community, come together and do that stuff, but yeah, it seemed like a bit of a production. That you wonder if what I wondered is, does the family, do they really want all
I can't
of this,
imagine
or do they just want it to be over
mourning. Yeah, they want to move
on
past this scene and not have everyone.
Right.
But I told. So we had that same reaction of like, this seems like a little overkill, a little too much production, but this guy served the community, and died serving the community, and this is a way for the community to kind of show that respect, right? You hate to say, no, that's too much, don't do it, because the community did come out in droves to honor him. So
Rennie Knott on Channel 5, I think.
Yeah.
He was tasked with filling space between, I don't even know, I guess whenever the ceremony was over and they were waiting for them to come out of the school and put the casket in the armed vehicle, that he was tasked with filling that void. And it was, I don't like Rennie Knott to begin with, but it's like how many different ways can you say this officer was a hero? How many different ways can you say that? Well, he used every single one of them, and it was like, all right. I mean, the guy's a great guy, no doubt about it, right? Big smile, heart of gold, right? We get it. Okay, Rennie, shut up.
You're such
How
a
about
jerk.
Silence would be fine.
Yeah.
Just be quiet, and let's watch these people gathering outside of the school, waiting for this cat. Silence is okay,
Yeah, I'm
we
sure
don't
he
need to
had
fill
some direction
as we
like,
sit here and fill every
don't
second.
just sit here and
I
say
don't know.
nothing.
No, you should listen to it because it was just like he was repeating the same thing with a new adjective.
So my son, as we've talked about, lives in the middle of town, right here in town, right next to Stubborn German and all the great places to eat and drink. But when he wanted to get out of town, just to like go across town, he couldn't. All four sides of him were blocked off in one way or the other for this procession. And he said he drove around for 2 hours, trying every intersection, every street he could think of where he could get through. And he finally got to a street where there was an officer currently putting cones out, and he just snuck through as he was putting the last cone out. But he ended up having to drive to Smithton and Hecker and south and come back around like by the quarry and all that and cross the highway over there and then come up. And he was trying to meet someone, and by then he was too late. So he just came over to our house, and he was all frustrated.
Yeah.
I've been driving 2 hours.
Well,
to get across 5 minutes of town.
I mean, it's good. It's good to see. All those things are good. But then the inconvenience, nobody really complained about. Like tonight, there's a thing going on at Dairy Queen, I think, that a portion of every sale goes to Backstoppers.
You should go get us some Dairy Queen. Since I can't have alcohol.
And that's great. And one of the things I saw was that the lines were ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that nobody is complaining about the lines at Dairy Queen.
Right.
Unless they're just completely unaware of what it's for. But imagine most people are content with the lines. But
yeah.
So it's good. it's good to raise money for these things. I mean, we went to Guns and Hoses last year, and that's what this is all about is taking care of fallen officers and their families, and support it 1,000%. But I also think, like, if we do this too much, we need to do it every time something terrible happens. We need to do it periodically between bad things happening, and hopefully there's long gaps. But you can't beat it to death, because then it becomes just another thing that rattles around your brain, and it cheapens the whole thing, right? It's kind of like, I may have said this before. This is going to maybe be offensive, but it's kind of like whenever they have the special kid that does he's the manager for the basketball team, and that last game of the basketball season, his senior year, they tell him to suit up, and they give him the ball, and they keep giving him the ball, and then defense stands down until he makes the basket. Well, the first time that happened, whenever the hell that was, it was really cool, because the kids came up with the idea on their own, and it was organic.
Right, people were like crying. And
now it's completely cheapened, because it's just a social media stunt to get views and likes, and it could be a sweet thing, but
what
people
if both
beat
teams have a special kid? Like, do you put them on each other and then like just let them go to town?
I think we make them joust.
Pretty sure
that might be bad.
If there's a hell, we're going to it.
No, I think that it's a great thing whenever those kinds of things happen. But when it happens,
it cheapens. It's the same thing with the father in the military comes home and throws out the first pitch and surprises
It's a great
kid,
moment. Some of them are just really cool and really genuine. But then others is like,
at least like parachute in or something. Come on.
Right. What do you think, Riley?
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I'm right. I know I'm not right. I know that my opinion is not a sensitive one.
I think there's plenty of people that agree with you. But
yeah, I think that, the same with prom, right? Prom king or queen, whenever they have the special kid, and they're like, oh, we're going to make her prom queen. Like, I'd be like, fuck you guys. I don't need your fucking pity. I don't want to be prom queen if the only reason you do is because I'm special. No, I want to earn that shit, I don't.
Well, then you need to earn it, Ryan.
Well, right.
Come on.
I mean,
work harder for it.
I wasn't prom queen or king, but no, I think that maybe they don't think about it. They live in the moment. Whereas I'm a crotchety old bastard that has no soul. Anyway.
So did you notice anything at school with the first team win in football in almost 2 years? Was there extra celebration or anything, or was it just another day?
Just another day.
Really? Man, they went 0-9 last year, and they won their first game this year, and it was just another day.
Yeah.
No, it was against Heron, right?
Hey, Heron beat us last year. So.
Everybody beat us last year.
Well, okay.
So this doesn't mean shit.
It means something. Hey, good for you guys.
You're doing better than we did last year.
Well, yeah. So yeah, one win's better than none.
This slacker over here. So as she alluded to earlier, the game was rain delayed for lightning, and if you recall, the cheerleaders do push-ups for every point that we score. So every time we score a touchdown, they do 6 or 7, however many, if we do the extra point. Right.
Yeah.
She's a cheerleader. So when we were up 16-0, she had done her 16 push-ups. Well, they stagger them in, so it's more than 16. But anyway, but the game got delayed by like 2.5 hours. And it was very late and very rainy, and so they allowed the cheerleaders to go home. You don't have to come back to cheer for the next continuation of the game. Meanwhile, we scored like 36 points, so they were probably doing, 100 push-ups.
I think they should have made all the cheerleaders show up today to school and do all those
She
push-ups
got out of doing push-ups.
Yeah.
You actually do them the right way, though.
Yeah.
Proud of you. You do
The
real
other
push-ups.
cheerleaders don't?
No.
Many of them don't. Yeah, she's
So what we're doing right now is we're calling out the entire cheerleading squad and saying they need to do their push-ups better.
Yeah.
Stop being chumps.
They do need to do them right. Come on.
You heard it here first. Jared
Equality.
says you guys suck. Do better push-ups.
Yeah. I want to see it next time. Go all the way down. Don't
How
be
about you go out
arching your
there?
back.
How about you go out there and do them with them?
Yeah, I'd be lucky to do 10, not anymore. But hey,
Yeah.
I told you. So I gained a couple pounds over the weekend.
Is he driving you nuts with this weight loss thing?
We
He's
don't
doing?
have bread at our house. So
That's a good.
We're running out of chips. And,
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you got to sacrifice with us. There's plenty of low carb tortillas or something.
Well, and you have a plentiful supply of hot dog buns, I hear.
Yeah.
So you got ways around these things,
Yeah.
you know.
You want some?
No, I'm good.
Got like 7 bags of them.
I'm trying to cut back on my carb intake too. It's not it is harder than you think. I had a salad today. It was like spinach and some beans and I don't know, tomatoes, whatever. But then they give you this little hunk of pita bread, and I'm like, well, everything was great until you hand me this pita bread.
Yeah.
Well, now it's in my salad. I'm going to eat it.
Mhm.
You know, I can't just. That's wasteful, right? So
This weekend was
it's hard.
rough though. We decided we were going to have a cheat day on Saturday because we were getting together with some friends from out of town, kind of a big barbecue, and we were just like, whatever, we're going to eat whatever and drink
Mhm.
beer and all that stuff. So that one day, but then the next day, well, they wanted to get together again.
Well, now you're
and
hungover
we
and
had
you're
another
lazy.
barbecue.
Yeah.
And then Monday we had another barbecue. You know,
Mhm.
so it was like 3 days of just eating crap.
Yeah.
So I gained a couple, but actually last night I was back down to what I was.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. You know,
It's all water weight. Do you weigh yourself
I
every day?
Not every day. I wasn't weighing myself at all for the first week and a half or 2 weeks, and then once I could kind of notice, I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh shit, I should weigh myself."
Like, would you notice
And
your
now
pants are
I've been all
fitting better
excited.
and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff?
Mhm.
Oh, right on.
More chicks were hitting on me.
Right. Yeah. Well, that happens. It comes
Yeah.
with the podcasting
Right.
gig. You know.
They listened to the podcast. I gave them our card.
Right. Still got a bunch of those. If you're
Yeah, I
Should we start
I need to
leaving
get
them at
some from you.
random places,
Yeah.
just gonna like go into bars and just throw them on the counter, throw them in the bathroom,
Yeah.
whatever. Who knows?
Hmm.
What else do we have to talk about?
I don't know.
How long? Where are we at here?
We're not that far in, but we can wrap it up whenever. We didn't plan anything for this except drinking water.
Well, yeah, and so we talked. Well, obviously, we talked a lot about Sober September or whatever, which is a
Mhm.
complete ripoff of Sober October from Burt
Yeah,
Kreischer.
that's
and
not where I got it, but yeah.
yeah, well, whatever. But Sober September is I'm joining the gym. I'm joining Pound for Pound
Oh, nice. Good for
tomorrow.
you.
I was going to do it today, but I was running late.
My son actually really wants me to, so he can get a discount. 'Cause he
Well,
pays
yeah,
full price by himself
It's but it's not bad. It's like $40 a month. It's not bad
for one person.
for
right?
one person.
But then-
it's like 60 for two.
Okay.
So
I
and
thought
then
he
they-
was saying it was 40 for two. He's like, it's really. we
No,
should just
I don't
do that.
think so.
Anyway, I don't know.
But yeah, so and I was actually going to see if I could get the Big O to go
Mm.
with me. They're like, oh, you have to be
Mhm.
14. He's only 13, so I got to wait till
Mm.
March before he can go. But I'm like, all the times that I set aside time, and you did the same thing to say like, oh, I got to get to baseball practice, my kid, or you got to get to cheer practice, or
I
you gotta,
gotta get to cheer practice.
right, or well, you got to get the kid to cheer practice, or you got to go to this game. You set aside time. You put it on your calendar. I'm going to go do this. I'm doing the same thing, but
Mhm.
for working out, which is what everybody should do. Because
Set aside time.
yeah, I've
right.
never made it a priority to go exercise, but I make it a priority to run my ass off to make sure that I get my kid to baseball or
Yeah.
make it to his game or whatever it is,
But there are a lot of people that don't even do that. They like
Right.
barely let their kid play, and they're like, "Well, you can play, but I'm not taking you.
Right.
You got to get a ride or
Yeah.
something." Or they go and they don't even watch. They like read a book or something. It's like,
But
what
so-
are you doing?
I think I'm gonna put it on my calendar just like I
Yeah.
did baseball practices and games and say like, all right, 8:00, 7:00, whatever time I decide, 7:00 on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays,
Not Tuesdays.
or whatever. You get my point. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right.
Maybe it will be Tuesdays. Screw
Yeah.
you. Maybe this doesn't take
It's the
priority.
end of the
You know?
podcast right here.
We got 6 other days of the week. Jesus.
Anyway,
so
yeah.
persnickety.
No, that's good. Good for you.
But, setting goals and doing all that kind of stuff. And I
Mhm.
actually told the guy when I was talking to him today, I was like, so look, I did P90X 10 years ago. I had success with it. I lost a
And
lot
he
of
looked at it
weight.
and he goes, "Really?"
I was over the phone. Yeah. Now, if he would have been in my presence, he'd be like, you sure? It's been a
You-
long time.
you
man.
did, huh?
I did. I swear I did. And I was
You
down
did
to
P88 or something. Like
yeah,
it was 2
87 days,
short,
and then
yeah.
my house got flooded. Yeah. But I was 57 pounds lighter than I am right now
Yeah.
at that time. And I felt great. So I was like, I can't do everything. I can't do all the cardio and because I'm a fat ass and I'd probably die. My heart would explode. So
Mhm.
I got to ease into that kind of stuff. Plus my knees hurt and shit like that. But I want to do something like that,
Mm-hmm.
but for fat fucks. So he's like, we can help you with that. Of course, that's what they do. They come up with workout regimens and, plans and
Right.
So I'm
My
actually
son likes it. up
kind
there.
of looking forward to it. And the fact that
Mhm.
I can go any time I want to.
Yeah,
Go
right.
and-
He utilizes that.
yeah.
He'll go late.
Yeah, I like that, and
Hmm.
and I don't like. Well, we've established I don't like big
People.
crowds of people, especially don't want anybody watching me be fat and
Sweat
sweat.
your yeah.
I don't need that.
I
you
hear
know.
ya. Yeah. Yeah,
So
I need to. I keep saying at the very least I'm going to start jogging, but I want to wait till I lose the weight that I set out to and then start being active.
Mhm.
I think if I try while I'm still carrying extra pounds, I'll be not as
Yeah,
motivated.
you never
to
know.
keep going. I mean, it would help me lose it quicker, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
You find out what hurts as soon as you start. I mean, running sucks. I can't even imagine running.
You hate running, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's bad. I mean, I had a moment there when I was doing the P90X things that I got my heart rate got so high that I didn't know what to do with all this energy. So then I started running and I actually enjoyed it. And I guess it's the equivalent of that runner's high that you hear people talk about where they're just something pops and they just get fired up.
Yeah.
And I think that happened for me. And I actually, that was the only time I've ever enjoyed running. And that was a long time ago. And I don't like it anymore.
Her boyfriend is what we call a runner.
Mm.
And he runs like insane amounts. Just
Well, that's good. I mean, it's good to have good habits.
yeah, he's good at it, and he'll probably like go to college for it and stuff. But
Yeah.
it's crazy. I could never do that. I've never been able to. When in my fittest in high school playing sports and stuff, I could not run long distance. It was only, I could sprint, but never ever could go long distance.
Well, TJ, my oldest, he wasn't. I mean, he ran in school, not competitively or anything like that, but he did what was required.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the baseball team, they ran that 5K every year. That was the extent of it. Well, now he's RTC, and he has to run, not just run, but run with like an 80-pound rucksack on his back, with combat boots on. And I think most of the time they do it with sneakers, but he's had to do these long runs with full gear. And he says it sucks, but he can do it. And he just got done with his PT test, and he beat the colonel.
Nice.
Which didn't break a record, but he was I think he was number 2 out of the battalion as far as all of it altogether. That was sit-ups, push-ups, and
distance. Do you know?
I don't know how long they ran, but it's a cumulative thing though. Sit-ups, push-ups, a run, and it's all there's benchmarks that you have to meet. And so he crushed them. He was feeling good about himself. And I was like, but you look so scrawny, man. Doesn't look like you're.
You need that sometimes. My son has always been athletic and could run and do more than a lot of kids in like baseball and stuff, but he was never a long distance guy at all. Like he's just like me with that. But he's been running, and the other day, what did he say? He run 11 miles, 11.3 miles,
11.29
in one shot.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
I could never do that. Yeah,
no,
I would die.
I barely drive that.
I know that's like, can we just have it delivered?
I was looking at the trip from my house to the gym, to the pound for pound, and seeing how far it is, like if you could run it or if you could ride a bike or whatever. And I thought it would be like a couple miles, Well, it's about 3 point something, 3.2 or 3.4 or something like that. It's like, oh, not walking, not running or walking that.
Eventually.
Well, I think I'd ride my bike. I would ride a bike up there, but I don't think I'll ever ride that. I mean, even got the nice trail and all that stuff.
I was going to say, you got the nice new sidewalk.
I don't know that I still want to do it though. But I don't know. We'll see. I got a lot of ideas, and then saying it on a public forum like this, where everybody I know listens to it, will hold me accountable. Say like, "Hey, how's the gym going?" It's like, yeah. So
how's the Dasani going?
Yeah, at the end of sober September, you're still looking at all this. I didn't follow the plan.
So I was talking to a couple friends about it this weekend about quitting drinking for a couple months, and one of them was like, "Oh yeah, I did that. After I fell through my coffee table, I decided I should probably stop drinking for a while." And
that's usually a sign.
Yeah. And then another guy was like, "Oh yeah, I did that too. I really slowed down." Well, no, but stopped drinking when he realized he had a problem drinking. And I was like, "Yeah, that's not why I'm doing it. I don't have it. I'm not falling through coffee tables or anything."
I know a guy that fell through a coffee table though. Greg, your neighbor.
Okay.
Up the street there, he didn't fall through mine. He fell through somebody else's. It was a Christmas party, and he was drunk.
Yeah.
And I think he told a joke and like stepped back and laughed and just kept going back and fell flat on his back. We literally pulled shards of glass out of his back. I mean, he was bleeding. It was crazy.
Everyone was laughing.
He didn't even know it either. He's like, "Man, something's not right." I'm like, "Dude, you're bleeding." And he took his shirt off and pulled a piece of glass out of his back. Like, that's not right. It didn't even really bother him. Yeah, he's
don't drink, Riley. It's
bad
good.
news.
Yep.
Yeah. It makes for good stories as long as it's not you falling through the table.
Jeez. Yep. Well, maybe on that note, we should wrap it up since we're discussing drunkenness with my
Hey,
16-year-old.
she needs to hear somewhere. Right?
Yeah, I guess.
What
You
we
got any
don't know,
drunk stories?
is that our
Do I
kids.
have drunk stories?
Uh-huh.
No.
Good. Right answer. I don't want to know if you do.
They
No, I do wanna know.
they've got their own little world that we just won't know about. Just like your
Mhm.
parents. Well, maybe yours because you lived in this little bubble.
Here we go.
But
yeah.
most normal teenagers have their own little world that their parents only have a slight window into. The goal is to get that window open a little bit further.
Mhm.
Like Chuck is.
He's an open book, right?
Oh man, yeah. I think. I mean, there
Is
may
he
be
that
some
way at
things.
school? Does he tell people anything?
Yeah.
She says.
Too much.
Yeah.
Let me give you this. I won't show it to you because it's kind of gross, but there's a picture on my phone of a pimple on Chuck's ass. Just that's the kind of crap that I have to deal with. Like, Dad, look at this. I was in my office, like at work, at home, working from home, and he comes. He's like, "Look at this." Drops his drawers and shows me his ass, and I'm like, "What? What am I looking at here? Look at the size of this pimple." I'm like, "Dude, you need to find a filter."
Boundaries, Chuck. Boundaries.
But it's funny, and
yeah, he's.
But so
funny guy.
even though he shares that kind of stuff, and probably more than that, I still think that he's got his own little bubble that I don't know about, and that's probably healthy.
Yeah.
That I don't need to know everything. I don't want to know everything. He needs to have his own little, as long as he's not doing anything stupid, which that's my job, our jobs as parents to make sure that they know better than to do stupid shit. And then hope for the best, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Riley and I failed the water taste test. We got Dasani right.
Yeah.
But we overestimated our refrigerator water.
I think in the next test, maybe we should do another one. Maybe it won't be on the podcast, but we should do another one of these. I'm gonna do it with Chuck because I want to see if he can tell the difference. And your system, I like the system too.
Yeah. Very well done, honey.
Yeah, nice job. And she awake? That we should take out the tap water and just have three different bottled water.
We did have
Schnucks
brand, grocery store brand drinking water.
And what we didn't get into here is one of the things you were talking about is maybe Kristen brought it up that sometimes you go and it'll be like there's Schnucks water,
right,
and then there's like Schnucks whatever mountain spring water or whatever,
purified water, spring water, distilled water,
right. What is the difference? What?
Right.
So for my CPAP thing, I'm supposed to buy distilled water. I have a jug of distilled water. I don't know what the hell they do to it. What can you do to water to distill? And I read the jug and it said steam distilled. I'm like, what's that mean? Does that mean that they just heat it up so that it evaporates and then whatever's left over is the
whatever's
distilled
left
water?
over is what they don't want, right? You collect the steam, I think.
I don't know.
The impurities are left
Are you
behind.
not supposed to drink distilled water? Would that be bad
you
for
are.
you?
That's the yeah.
Well, I don't understand.
Right in. How can they let us know whether or not we should drink distilled water?
Our predecessors lived on stream water with all of its glory.
I feel like spring water is probably what we should be drinking, but
with all the fish shit in it, and
springs
fish pee in there.
Yeah.
So
just. I told Chuck I was going to be on the podcast, and he goes, "Are you shitting me?"
He's been on. It's been a while,
Not shitting you, Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't did he come in studio? No. He just called in.
He did the one time. Remember we had to go pick him up from the fair?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he came in that time and we talked about, county fairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it
has been a while. We need to get him back in. We need to get you both in here and see what they tell stories about each other.
Just let them go. Just throw them a topic or someone's name and just lock them in the room.
Yeah. We started our own podcast, Dad.
Yeah. It's probably more entertaining than ours.
Yeah. All right.
It's a whole different demographic.
Well, we appreciate
our ratings
you listening.
might go through the roof because if Chuck knows that Riley was on this, then that means that the whole damn school's going to know.
You got to put this on Facebook and Snapchat and whatever.
Do Facebook anymore.
Somebody type. Instagram, because he won't get on Instagram anymore.
Yeah, I've got to.
It's too much work apparently. Yeah, right.
We'll just
got material for you. We should. You want to control the Instagram account? Because she doesn't have enough other shit going on.
Yeah.
If we get MeUndies, you can wear them.
You can have MeUndies. You can have. We'll get you a ZipRecruiter account. We're going to recruit. We'll recruit a photo editor for you.
There you go.
You more time to take pictures and yeah. Right.
Well, check us out on social media if we ever get back on there. At
Go
Load
check
This
out all the shit
Podcast.
that was there now. You know, I mean, there's stuff there.
We
It's
do
not
have
like it just
Old
all went
content
away.
that, you can check us out.
You know,
Email us.
back when I cared.
Jeez.
Oh.
He's so burned out.
No, I'll get back there sometime. Yeah, some point. Yeah, go ahead. I was talking over you.
I don't
You-
know,
you-
even know the addresses anymore.
At Load This Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. loadthispodcast@gmail.com. Get a load of this on YouTube.
And I'm late putting up the last video on YouTube. Sorry.
Shit's really gone
I
off the
know.
rails here lately.
Yep.
Um,
I did record a baseball one in about 20 minutes before you got here.
wow.
It's already posted and
Wow.
everything.
And we
Piece of
we
cake.
tried to set up a new camera tonight, so look forward to
Yeah,
that.
we did spend some time with a second camera. We couldn't get it quite working yet. It's
We're not
coming.
sure what to do with it either because it's either going to point to like
I'm just
directly
pointing at Ryan,
my
so.
head, which is probably not a good thing. You get to see all my
Yeah.
rosacea in all its glory. So.
All right. Well, we thank you for listening. We thank Riley for sitting in with us,
Yeah.
helping out with the water taste test, which, you know, you're right. It was pretty much just water. But you could tell Dasani for
Pretty
sure.
much just water.
You know, Ryan thought nobody could care. Nobody's going to
Well,
tell.
I couldn't tell Dasani. I could tell which were bottled. Let's be clear,
Yeah.
sir.
You did tell.
Yeah, but I think that if I'm telling you, we put all bottled water up. Nobody.
Yeah, you're probably right. All right. Well, next time we're going to do a review of coconut water.
I'm out.
Okay. Thanks for listening. Appreciate you subscribing, downloading, all that. Until next time, I'm Jared.
I'm Ryan.
I'm Riley.
And get a load of this.
Riley, good sustained Riley. But that is intimidating. Pointing that thing at me. So we have a camera working. We have water.
We thought we were going to have two cameras working, and that
Yeah,
didn't
work out.
But,
We made a valiant effort.
yeah.
We'll live to fight another day.
All right. You ready to do this?
Sure.
Okay.
Dog is
Uh-oh.
dog is
That dog is
pissed.
going to be a problem.
What's she barking at?
Because we're all down here. She just
Oh,
wants
she doesn't
to be
like that.
included. Give her a treat.
Yeah.
Ah, she'll get over it.
All right.
She can't be barking at me. I'm down here.